Guys, what's up? I'm out here chilling before I go into my next adventure of, doing what I gotta do. And as I relaxed, I started thinking about burnout and how there's a lot that goes into accomplishing whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, but especially content creating. It's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of work that you got to put in. So I wanted to kind of talk about burnout and how to avoid that. So guys, like, if you haven't noticed, you got to pay attention. If you haven't noticed, Tony Statovci, a guy who has so much like great videos all the time. Like I haven't seen a bad video from him. I haven't seen a bad video from him. So how does he do it? How does he not burn out? One thing I think that he does is, one, he's made it very simple. He has found something that's very low cost. It's not hard for him to do. He doesn't have to dress up. He doesn't have to do it. He's built up a name to where, like, you see his face, he just tells a joke. He's really a stand-up comedian, and he just tells a joke and he's good. So he's built that up, and that's what's really kind of like helped him out. The second thing is, what works for me and what I feel like is happening with him is, just make sure you focus on, like, just expressing yourself. He's literally, I do the same thing, and I'm not as good at it as him because clearly he's a stand-up comedian. But being able to just clearly illustrate and convey a thought. So in his mind today, he had something that was hilarious. He had the J. Cole apologizing and how he feels like it went. There's so many guys I see do it. They've made it so simple where they're just expressing a thought. This is the opinion that they have. They would have expressed this opinion any other way. They just expressed the opinion. That's it. So his opinion is that, oh, he must have been tormented by, like, the thoughts and stuff like that. And I can see that happening. Then you exaggerate it a bit for comedic value, and then you just record it. Like, he didn't do anything extra. He did a few voiceovers. He's like the king of the voiceover. He just expressed it. And when you do that, it keeps you so much from burning out, because you're not sitting there every second like, oh, I need to come up with content. I need to come up with content. It's like, for me, I notice that I'm always literally just opening the gate, like, of my mind, rather than limiting it and being like, well, just open the gate and allow those thoughts out. And then I filter through what I like, and then I improve upon it. It's literally like this, right? It's like a gate that you open up, and there's thoughts inside of it. So you open that gate up, and you let all of these, let's say it's not thoughts, let's say it's like animals or something like that. You let them all out. And what I do is, I'm letting it out into an outer pen. And the ones that I like, those are the ones that I go and I take, and now I dress it up. I give it food, and I dress it up, and I basically, like, cultivate it and make it an even better animal before I present it out to the world. But if I would have kept all of that back, instead of allowing all of it out so that it can freely just do what it needs to do, then it's like, I would have never known. And there's so much of that goes on. I learned that with when I had my art career. I learned that with that, of just drawing, just letting it out, just putting it down on paper. Because up here, it's crazy. But when you finally get that in a tangible form, now I can mess with it. I can see what it is. I've had ones that I put down, and it's like, it's horrible, so I don't go forward with it. But that's the key. And he's just letting stuff go. And he has an editor and stuff that can take care of that as well. But it's like, it's not much to edit. Like, I think they're probably editing more for his streaming and stuff like that, or his YouTube. But, he just lets it out. And that's how you avoid burnout, not trying to do too much. I learned this from an officer, actually, when I was locked up, of living below your means. Living at your means is kind of pushing it as well, but living below your means. A lot of people live above their means. Now think about that time-wise and content creating-wise. Most people live above their means, or trying, and then they break themselves, and they're like, oh, I can't do this anymore. It's because you are doing too much. Live below your means. Do what you're capable of, what works for you. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. And then, You can go from there. But, you know, people do too much a lot of times, and that's what ends up messing you up. So remember that. Remember that. Don't burn yourself out, and use these keys in order to keep from burning out. And as always, I saluted too early. Keep going.